Only today's greatest sports heroes make it to starting lineup.
To be a winner!
Detailed uniforms, every home team, and they're official. Collect starting lineup, each sold separately.
To be a winner!
Love those cheesy ads. Now, before we get to the Figure 5 guessing game, we do have to give a shout out to this guy, Mr. Bill Walton, rest in peace. One of the better college and pro basketball analysts and players of all time. One of the big men alliance, as Shaq called him. And yeah, just a character guy. Got to work with him a couple of times at Sirius XM. Just as everything you're seeing about written and said about him, like on social media and the internet, is just absolutely true. And the basketball community lost a good one.
Yeah, well said. Always enjoyed his work. Especially the later years of his life. Working as a college basketball analyst, doing those Pac-12 after dark games. Him and Dave Patch and the chemistry they had together. So he will be missed.
For me, he was part of like the NBA on NBC, one of the broadcast teams with Steve Snapper Jones and Tom Hammond. So that's how I got introduced to Bill Walton. But he's not going to be the guy today. It is basketball, and with that. It didn't freeze today, so we're already off to a good start.
There we go.
You may go.
Oh, yeah, I suppose I should ask a question now. Were you holding this isn't my question. Were you holding the starting lineup there?
I was moving it out of camera, and then I realized it quickly went in camera, and then I threw it out.
I didn't see it well enough to get anything from it. So, but I saw what you did there. I was like, wait a minute.
I was like trying to get it out of the way, and I put it right in the line of vision.
Is this player an NBA champion?
I don't believe so. Actually, let me double check that. No,
never won a championship. All right, so that's interesting. Is this player a Hall of Famer?
He is a Hall of Famer.
Okay. Did this player primarily play in the Eastern Conference?
No, primarily in the West.
Primarily in the West. Okay.
He did have a stop in the East, but he was primarily in the West.
Okay. Hall of Famer, did not win a championship. Just thinking about some of those like 90s NBA teams now. Let's see. Utah, Phoenix, San Antonio won. Lakers. Did this player play for the Seattle Supersonics?
I know where your mind is going because you know me, but the answer is no.
Okay.
For the record, if it's the same person, he was almost who I picked today.
I'm trying to think of Western Conference teams now, and this is what's really throwing me off. And then the Hall of Famer thing isn't really even a good question because like everybody who's good in basketball gets in the Hall of Fame.
There's one question you could ask that would narrow it down significantly if you think along the right path.
I'm just trying to think of like Western Conference NBA teams now.
They were in the playoffs a lot, but they never really went deep. Yeah, one more question.
Yeah, one more question. In the playoffs.
You're really thinking about this one.
I really am. It just shows how little I know about the NBA, which is what's killing me right now. Did this player primarily play with the Phoenix Suns?
No. You were thinking KJ, weren't you?
Like him, or like I think Grant Hill played there for a little bit as well. So
Did that's a good call.
That's sort of where I was going with that. So now I have to guess.
Yes.
House. It's not going to be him. Vancouver, no. Sacramento. Is it Vlade Divac?
Unfortunately, it is not Vlade Divac.
I don't even know if he's in the Hall of Fame. It just shows how little I know about the NBA.
So the question I was hoping you would ask is, was he on the original Dream Team? Because I would have narrowed it down with the whole, because you asked about the champions. Because then that would have narrowed it down.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Mullin.
Yeah, I didn't think about the Warriors at all.
That's why I did try to give
But
you
even
a
if I
hint.
got to the Warriors, like I probably would have guessed like Tim Hardaway maybe. But like even then, like did he win a championship in Miami? I don't even know.
I don't know. Was he on the Miami team? Let me check with that. Because that's the thing. Like Golden State.
I know
went
he
to
was
the
in Miami.
playoffs.
I don't know if he was on the Miami title team in like 06 though.
Okay, Golden State went to the playoffs a lot, but they were almost always knocked out in the first round by one of the better teams. So Tim Hardaway, not a champion.
Not a champion. Yeah, and that's sort of where I was going. I'm trying to think of these teams that like didn't really win in the 90s. So like I don't think Dallas or Minnesota were very good then for a lot of those years. Phoenix, I was sort of thinking of for a little bit. Utah, I guess, but like, you said primarily in the Western Conference, so I figured, all right, that eliminates Malone and Stockton, so move on there, and I just sort of ran out of places to go.
And you know what? I could have said he had to stop in Indiana in the East because he did get to the finals with them. They lost the year they lost to the Lakers. Yeah, I could, if I had just pulled Sean Kemp out instead, you would have gotten it on 4 questions, but.
Yeah, most likely. Oh, well, it is what it is. Can't get them all.
Can't get them all. It's been a good season. Now, he won't be joining the starting lineup studio audience, but in there this week, I decided to go with guys who end in Y based on Randy Johnson being last week's unboxing. So we got Ziggy Palfy from the 97 Islander edition, Vinny Testaverde from the 89 Buccaneers edition, and then Larry Bird from the 89 Celtics edition. They are on their way to the NBA Finals. Presumably face the Dallas Mavericks as long as they Mavericks take care of business here in the next 3 games against Minnesota. So there'll be a fresh 4 in the audience next week. We'll see who it's going to be.
What, was Tony Gonzalez not available?
I don't have, there is a Tony Gonzalez starting lineup, but it's a rare one. So I sold that one because I got like $12 for that one. So, and that's pretty high for like, so there was one, but they're rare. You don't see them a lot.